Jeffrey Hunter, born Henry Herman McInnes Jr. on November 25, 1926, in New Orleans, grew up far from the glamour he would later embody. After his family relocated to Milwaukee during the 1930s, he developed a grounded upbringing shaped by discipline and curiosity. Even as a young boy, Hunter showed a fascination with storytelling and performance, often participating in school plays and community productions. His teachers noticed his quiet determination, a trait that would later define his career. Rather than chasing attention, he focused on improving his craft. This early combination of humility and ambition set him apart. It wasn't fame he seemed to crave, but expression, the chance to step into different lives and emotions through acting. That desire would ultimately guide him toward a future in Hollywood. Education, war, and a path. Toward acting, Hunter's formal journey into acting began at Whitefish Bay High School, where he actively engaged in drama programs. His talent led him to Northwestern University, a respected institution known for its theater training. There, he studied both classical and modern acting techniques, gaining a strong foundation in performance. However, his education was interrupted when he enlisted in the United States Navy during the World War II. Serving as a radar technician, he demonstrated the same discipline that marked his academic life. After the war, he returned to complete his studies, earning a degree in speech and radio. He later attended University of California, Los Angeles, placing himself at the center of a rapidly growing entertainment industry. This combination of education and real-world experience shaped him into a thoughtful and prepared performer, breaking into Hollywood's golden era. By 1950, Hunter had arrived in Hollywood at a time when studios were searching for fresh faces to define a new generation of cinema. His striking appearance and calm screen presence caught the attention of 20th Century Fox, which quickly signed him. Early roles in films like 14 Hours and Call Me Mr. introduced him to audiences, though they were modest beginnings. Still, Hunter approached each role with seriousness, gradually building a reputation for reliability. Unlike many newcomers, he didn't rely solely on charm. He worked carefully to refine his performances. Directors began to notice his ability to convey emotion with restraint, a quality that made him stand out in an era of larger-than-life acting styles. These early steps, though small, laid the groundwork for a career that would soon reach far greater heights. A defining role in The Searchers. Hunter's breakthrough came with The Searchers, directed by John Ford and starring John Wayne. In the film, Hunter played Martin Pauly, a young man on a long and emotional journey. His performance brought sensitivity and depth to a story rooted in hardship and resilience. Acting alongside Wayne, a towering figure in Hollywood, could have been intimidating, yet Hunter held his own with quiet confidence. His portrayal balanced vulnerability and determination, giving the character a human dimension that resonated with audiences. Over time, the film became recognized as one of the greatest Westerns ever made, and Hunter's contribution remains a key part of its legacy. This role confirmed that he was more than just a handsome leading man. He was a serious actor capable of emotional nuance, portraying faith in King of Kings. In 1961, Hunter took on one of the most challenging roles of his career in King of Kings, directed by Nicholas Ray. Portraying Jesus Christ required not only acting skill, but also a sense of reverence and emotional balance. Hunter approached the role with sincerity, aiming to present a compassionate and human interpretation. While some critics debated whether his striking looks suited the part, many viewers appreciated the calm dignity he brought to the character. The film gained a lasting audience, especially during religious seasons, and continues to be remembered decades later. For Hunter, the role was both an opportunity and a challenge. It elevated his profile, but also risked limiting how audiences perceived him. And still, his performance demonstrated his willingness to take risks and explore complex roles, even under intense public scrutiny. Expanding horizons in television work, as the 1960s progressed, Hunter worked to avoid being confined to a single type of role. He appeared in films like No Man is an Island and Dimension 5, exploring different genres. At the same time, he embraced television, recognizing its growing importance. One of his most notable appearances came in the pilot episode The Cage for Star Trek, where he played Captain Christopher Pike. Although the network did not initially pick up the pilot, his portrayal later became an important part of the franchise's history. Over the years, Pike evolved into a key figure within the Star Trek universe, and Hunter's original performance gained renewed appreciation. This period of his career reflected both ambition and adaptability, as he navigated an industry that was rapidly changing in style, format, and audience expectations, marriage, family, and personal commitments. Hunter's personal life mirrored the complexity of his career. He first married Barbara Rush in 1950, and the couple welcomed a son, Christopher. Though their relationship began with promise, the pressures of Hollywood eventually led to their divorce in 1955. 2 years later, he married model Dusty Bartlett, forming a blended family that included her son, as well as 2 more children they had together. For a time, Hunter appeared to enjoy a stable family life, often speaking about the importance of fatherhood. Friends described him as attentive and caring, someone who valued time with his children despite his demanding career. However, like many relationships in the public eye, the marriage eventually ended. In 1969, he married Emily McLaughlin, marking a hopeful new chapter that, sadly, would be brief. Private life and the reality of old Hollywood. Behind the polished image of Hollywood, many actors lived with unspoken pressures, particularly regarding personal identity. In Hunter's time, the industry enforced strict expectations, leaving little room for openness about private matters. While stories and rumors have circulated about hidden relationships within the film community, it is important to approach such claims with care and respect. What can be said with certainty is that many actors of that era navigated complex personal lives while maintaining public personas shaped by studios and social norms. Hunter himself was known to be private, rarely discussing deeply personal aspects of his life in public. This silence reflects not secrecy alone, but the realities of a time when honesty could come at a high cost. His story, like many others from that period, highlights the tension between individuality and expectation in classic Hollywood. A tragic accident and declining health. In 1968, while filming Cry Chicago in Spain, Hunter was involved in a serious on-set accident during a scene involving special effects. A malfunction caused an explosion to behave unpredictably, leaving him with a concussion. Despite the injury, he completed filming, demonstrating his professionalism. However, the effects of the trauma lingered. According to those close to him, he began experiencing troubling symptoms that suggested deeper complications. At the time, medical understanding of head injuries was limited compared to today, and the seriousness of his condition may not have been fully recognized. What initially seemed manageable gradually worsened, setting the stage for a tragedy that no one could have anticipated. The incident serves as a reminder of the risks actors sometimes face behind the scenes, even in carefully planned productions. Sudden passing and lasting legacy. On May 27, 1969, Hunter passed away at the age of 42 after suffering a severe brain hemorrhage, likely linked to his earlier injury. His death shocked colleagues and fans alike, cutting short a career that still held great promise. He was laid to rest in California, leaving behind a body of work that continues to be appreciated by classic film enthusiasts. Though his life was brief, his performances in films like The Searchers and King of Kings remain enduring testaments to his talent. Beyond the screen, he is remembered as a dedicated professional and a thoughtful individual, navigating the challenges of his time. His story reflects both the opportunities and pressures of Hollywood's golden age, offering a glimpse into a world that was as demanding as it was glamorous.